Today is Monday, July 15th, 2019. It is about 2:45 in the afternoon. I'm actually done work for the day, which is pretty amazing. That rarely ever happens. Sucks when payday comes along, but every once in a while it's nice to have a half a day. So I'm okay with it. I'm coming at you from my car, which is turning into a thing. I wanted to film this morning in my house, but surprise, surprise, I didn't have time. um, Trying to do, it seems like I can never check off all the boxes on my list. Like, if I get up and exercise, then I don't have time to do lunch and, make lunch and do breakfast. If I do lunch and breakfast, I don't have time to film. If I film, I don't have time to do anything else. So, I'm just right. I still need to wake up probably a good half an hour. I probably need to get up out of bed at least by 7 o'clock, which I know is not, it's early to some people, but to a lot of people, they wish they could sleep until 7. So, not saying that that's like super, super early or anything, but I still need to get my butt out of bed, and I don't sleep very well. Last night I had a lot of trouble sleeping, so did my husband. We were both like tossing and turning all night. So, again, that's why I'm glad I have half a day today. Let's see, lighting sucks. Audio probably sucks. Let me turn, actually. That might be a little bit better. Turn the AC down. I'm coming at you from this weird angle because the lighting is terrible. It's like midday, well, later afternoon. That doesn't make any sense. Mid to late afternoon is, it's a little bit before 3 o'clock, so the sun is not in the best position for lighting while sitting in the car. So to get more direct sun, I would have to wrench my body towards the window, and I don't feel like doing that. So you're just gonna have to deal with me like this, and I'm totally rambling on. I wanted to do a little check-in. I did not weigh myself today. I haven't weighed myself in a while because my scale is dead. It is out of batteries. So I am sitting in the store parking lot right now. I'm going to get some batteries for my scale, and then I will weigh myself. And so probably next week I'll have a weight update, which I think was my original plan anyway. My goal for last week was to exercise every day. I exercised, I think, 3 days out of the week. Honestly, I mean, it's still an excuse, but I just forgot every day. It would be late into the night, and I would be like, crap, I didn't freaking exercise today. And so I need to set an alarm or something, if I don't exercise in the morning, to definitely make sure. And the days that I did exercise, I tried to either do it first thing in the morning or as soon as I got home from work. Get home from work, exercise, and then peel off my gross clothes and take a nice hot shower. That's what I did at least 2 of the 3 days, I think, and it was the best feeling in the world, because I'm pretty gross when I get home from work anyway. I like to take a shower right after work because I clean houses. So, I mean, it's a dirty job in general, but I also get super hot and sweaty. So, I will come home and I will go straight into working out without even changing my clothes. I'll just keep my work clothes on, which is usually stretchy pants and a t-shirt anyway, like my work shirt anyway, so it's not that far off from workout clothes, and that way, I can just get completely disgusting and then take a nice, satisfying shower. So I need to still increase exercise, and I did better with eating. I have not binged since that day, since I think it was Tuesday last week. And so tomorrow will be 1 week binge free if I make it to tomorrow, which, I have confidence that I will. I've avoided drinking soda. I've avoided fast food, which those are like my three main things right now. Is definitely number one is not binging, because that's more, that deals with something on a deeper level than just overeating, than just being hungry or just making poor choices. Like, that's actually like a ritualistic emotional response type of thing. So binging for me not binging is very important. And then not choosing fast food or soda when I'm out and about during the day. Those are my three main priorities right now. So I'm not expecting a huge change on the scale, and I think that's something that I've just had to accept, that I'm not probably going to see huge changes on the scale at first, and I'm okay with that. I've pretty much, I don't know, I haven't really thought about my goal, which was getting under 200 pounds this year. That was my big goal, and I was like, it's so doable, because if you're looking at the whole year, it's like not even 2 pounds, just a little over a pound a week, and that's totally doable. And it's, 7 months in, and I have barely lost 10 pounds. So I don't want to feel, I don't want to get to that finish line and feel disappointed. Even if I do make great progress, I don't want to feel disappointed because I didn't hit that number goal. So I'm trying to kind of put that out of my head for now, and focus more on fixing my food issues. And hopefully the result of that will be weight loss over time. But, I used to say, when I thought about, well, how much do you want to weigh? My answer was always less. That was always my answer, because for a long time I didn't really have a weight goal. I just wanted to see the number go down, even if it was a little tiny bit, every single time I stepped on the scale. So I think I want to go back to that mindset of how much do you want to weigh, less. Like, not really having a number goal to focus on right now, but just worry about making small, steps, small baby steps over time. And I'm mostly okay with that. I get frustrated. I do get frustrated. I think it's perfectly normal to get frustrated. I think we all want to see a big change, either physically see it with your eyes, or see it on a scale, or see it with the way your clothes fit. We all want to see a difference, and it does get discouraging when, I go weeks and weeks, and I'm like, I did okay, I did pretty good, and it's like, well, pretty good's still not good enough. So I have to, sorry, I'm like caressing my steering wheel this entire time that I'm talking. Like I said, I'm always like doing some weird thing with my hand while I'm talking about stuff. Now I forget what I was saying. Yes, well, it's it is discouraging to not be able to see it, but for me, it's something that I've pretty much completely accepted, that this is just the way that it's going to be for me if I'm actually going to get somewhere, if I'm actually going to succeed. So, what else did I want to talk about? Well, when it comes to like fast food, like I said, I've avoided fast food. There were times, a couple times this past week, where it was really hard. And maybe, like, I know on Friday at least, I was pretty much set on, I'm gonna go get fast food between my first and second house. And I had that voice in my head that's like, you can't do that. You're going to have to resist. At some point, it's going to have to come down to willpower. You are going to have to say no to yourself, and you're going to have to resist it. Like that's all there is. Like, you have to, at some point, you're going to have to just deal with the fact that you're not going to eat it. Instead of saying, well, if it's fine if I just give in this once, and, I'll do better tomorrow, and it's really not that big of a deal. Like, no, like, you have to say no. You have to resist it, or you're never going to see progress. So I was having that war with myself, where the one half was telling me, oh, it's no big deal, it's fine, it's just one meal, you'll do better tomorrow, it's whatever. And then the other side was like, no, 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 remember your goal, remember this is it's go time. It's time to put your your plan into action. So you can't keep giving into these temptations. You're going to have to say no and stick to it. So, and I did. I didn't. And at some point, the voices, metaphorically speaking, the voices start to get very, what's the good word that I'm looking for? Start to get mean and demeaning to myself, saying, well, who do you think you are? You're not a person who eats healthy. Look at you. You're 250 pounds. What now? All of a sudden, now you're going to say no, and now you're going to start eating healthy? Like, who do you think you are? Do you really think you're this person? Do you really think that you are, gonna be some kind of healthy person? Like, no, that's not who you are. Just stop lying to yourself and just go ahead and get fast food and be happy, because that's who you are, and that's all you are worth, and that's what you deserve. And again, it just goes back to having to, for the first time, I had a moment of clarity where I was like, I don't have to listen to these voices that are telling me this. I don't have to, it sounds like the truth to me. Like, this is the truth, but it doesn't have to be the truth. Just because, I don't know, just because I haven't been a healthy person in a very long time doesn't mean that that's all that I am. And sorry, I really don't want to start this video all over again, but I really am like, what? I don't like what I'm not getting out what I want to say properly. I think you get the idea, so I think I can just move on. But yes, the voices get very loud and very demanding and very negative and very putting me down and saying that, I'm this worthless person, and that's, eating crappy food equates to being a crappy person. You eat crappy food because that's who you are, and don't think you're anything better than that. And so, yeah, I'm not great at this. So that's the bottom line is that I, at least for now, have been able to say no and say that's not true, and I'm not listening to you, and I'm going to keep moving forward, and that's just the way that it is. So today Well, right now, like I said, I'm about to head into the store to get batteries and a couple other things, and I'm going to have to resist temptation again because another thing that I like to do is I always love going and just getting a bunch of food and sitting in my car and eating it. Um, my hand that's holding up my phone is like starting to get crampy. Um, so even though I just did this whole big spiel about beating this urge to eat fast food and I'm doing so well, it's still there. It's still, there's still a chance that I'll walk in the store right now and it'll just trigger a complete and total binge. There's always that chance. There's always that fear that that I'm going to fail. And hopefully that doesn't happen. But I didn't bring a lunch today. Since I knew I was getting off early, I was like, I'll just eat when I get home. So I'm gonna stick with my plan. I'm gonna stick with eating. I had strawberry. I've been enjoying strawberries and bananas for breakfast. I don't know what it is. I've just been craving it. Like crazy. Like I actually look forward to it every morning of having my strawberries and my bananas. And I'm very like weird. Like, you know, I have to slice my bananas in a certain way and then slice the equal amount of strawberries. So I have one piece of strawberry with one piece of banana. Today I actually added cucumber into my little fruit salad, which might sound strange. I love cucumber. We have a ton of it right now. I have at least a dozen cucumbers because we grow it in my garden, and they've been very prolific. And we just had a ton of cucumbers. So I'm like trying to get creative. Like, how can I eat? Which I think is great. I like cucumber a lot, and I think cucumber is really, really healthy for you. Um, and it's like it has that like crisp fresh taste, sometimes slightly sweet taste, which I think goes well with anything. Like if you add it to a salad or you add it to a sandwich or whatever, it kind of takes on the flavor of whatever else you're eating with it. And we even really love cucumber water as well, which I need to chop some up or cube some and stick it in the freezer, and then you can use it as like ice cubes in your water. But anyway, it's really good. And so we have all this cucumber, and I'm like, I have to figure out ways to eat cucumber. So I was like, well, why don't I just add it in with my fruit? And I also add it because it's going to be, like I said, it doesn't really have a strong flavor. Like it's going to pair well. It should pair well with the fruit. And I threw in some kiwi in there too because I had a kiwi that was going to go bad if I didn't. So threw some kiwi in it, and it was pretty good. And yeah, I mean, pretty much you couldn't really taste the cucumber. The flavor of the strawberries and the bananas were way more overpowering than the flavor of the cucumber, and because those are so sweet, it really helped balance it out. And actually, cucumber and banana together is surprisingly good. Like the flavor of the cucumber, like goes very well with the flavor of the banana. It's very strange. Like it's a combination I never thought that I would like. So, adding cucumber to my fruit every morning. So I'm gonna stick with that. I've been sticking with fruit pretty much for breakfast and lunch. I'm trying yet another lunch idea. Lunch has just been, because I don't have a normal lunch break, like I've said, or I think at least I think I've said before, I don't have a normal lunch break. I don't technically have any lunch break. The only time I have is if I happen to have time in between houses. So my lunch, literally most of the time, is eaten while driving. Eaten while driving. eaten while driving. So it has to be something that I can easily eat with one hand and not potentially get into an accident. So I can't be sitting here eating a salad, while driving or eating. And I have before, trust me, but it's not ideal. And because it's more complicated, I'm less likely to actually do it. And I go, screw it, I'm just going to go to McDonald's. So I have to have food that tastes good and is satisfying, but is also easy to eat with one hand. And going back to the cucumbers, for a long time now, one of my staples has been cucumbers and hummus in my lunches, but it's like very difficult to like dip the cucumber in the hummus while driving. The hummus is thicker, so it's like, it's just harder. Like, you kind of have to like, you can't like just dip it in. Anyway, so I had the idea of like, well, why don't I add the hummus and the cucumber on to a sandwich? Or in this case, I'm choosing to do wraps instead of bread, because I'm trying to cut down on my bread consumption. I actually picked up some gluten-free tortilla wraps, so I'm excited to try them. I'm scared. I'm not like gluten-free, like, dedicating or committing to a gluten-free diet. I have been interested in trying gluten-free and trying dairy-free as well, and the only reason why is because these foods can be very inflammatory to the body. That's why a lot of people have gluten sensitivities, as well as sensitivities to the proteins in dairy as well. And I actually was diagnosed as lactose intolerant. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. I don't know. I've deleted pretty much all my videos, so I don't know. But I was diagnosed as lactose intolerant when I was a kid, and it's something that I've kind of ignored my whole life. But I've always had horrible stomach issues, ever since I was a little kid. And just intense pain and bloating. And I never took the time to really figure out what was causing that. And it's gotten better as I've gotten older. But I'm like, maybe I do have a sensitivity to gluten or dairy or something like that. So I would be interested in doing like an elimination diet, but I need to get my eating issues under control first, or I'm never going to stick with it. So anyway, I like to try to choose gluten-free when I can. And, avoid bread when I can. And as far as dairy goes, we don't eat like a ton of dairy. I do enjoy yogurt, and those like squeezable like Go-Gurt thingies. I have been having one of them for lunch, and that's pretty much it. And like, my husband really likes almond milk, so any milk that we use. Sorry, I'm gonna unhook my seatbelt. Shut up. You're fine. Thank you. So any like milk, every once in a while we'll have real milk, but for the most part we have almond milk. And then we do use cheese in cooking for like dinner and stuff. Like when we have tacos, or sometimes we have sandwiches and we have cheese, but it's not like we're eating a ton of cheese every single day. So I try to just limit my consumption of dairy and gluten when I can, but I'm not committed to a full-fledged gluten-free, dairy-free lifestyle. And then I've been thinking about doing the wraps with hummus as like a spread on there instead of mayonnaise or mustard, doing the hummus and putting the cucumbers right in the sandwich, and then either having tuna or turkey, or I prefer turkey or some kind of lunch meat. I'm kind of leaning back into trying. Today I'm going to try tuna and see if I like it. I have a feeling I'm very picky about tuna. I enjoy it, but I'm very sensitive to a strong fishy taste. And not that tuna, especially canned tuna, necessarily has a strong fishy taste, but I still pick up on that fishy taste, and and it's a shame because fish, I know, like salmon and other fish are very, very good for you and very healthy and always highly recommended. I can't do it. And I grew up, my dad was an avid fisherman, and it was always kind of blasphemous because I do enjoy fish as long as it's a very mild fish, and if it's cooked in a way that makes it tasty and delicious, I will enjoy it, but I would never like choose fish over chicken or beef or pork or whatever. So again, I'm just very, very weird about tuna fish, very picky about it. So we'll see, because I literally just put tuna on top of the cucumbers, which are on top of the hummus. So we'll see. We'll see if I like it. And if not, I'm sure if I choose like turkey, or I was even thinking of doing chicken and just cooking chicken and doing it that way instead of getting like a canned chicken. And then having like a fruit, like usually an apple. And I was thinking about adding some kind of snack, but I'm scared. I don't want to binge on it. And every time, like, I was in the store and I was like, should I get a pack of like the little, like, snack size of Pringles or chips or something like that? And I'm like, it's probably cheaper just to buy a big bag and measure it out yourself. I don't know. I'm kind of still up in the air if I want to do something like that, because I'm just afraid I'm going to binge on it. So, and then the last thing that I have is that I decided to add was like a little, just something sweet, but not overly, still, I don't know. I chose granola bars, like the 25% less sugar, whatever, chewy bars, Quaker chewy bars. And I know that, on the surface, it's like, oh, well, this is better than a cookie, but is it really? It's, I mean, I could look at the nutrition facts on it and see, but in my brain, I was trying to, quote unquote, choose something a little bit healthier than like a cookie or a cupcake or something like that to be like a little dessert. So that's what I'm planning to have for lunches, and I will check back in on that and see if I found that to be satisfying or if I thought it was disgusting, and I'm on to the next thing. So anyway, I better get in the store and get what I need, and I will check back in whenever I feel like it to let you know how I'm doing. And I might do a weigh-in before next week. We'll see, because I'm sure as soon as I pop in those batteries, I'm going to be on the scale weighing myself. That's just how I am. So, yeah, that's it for today. And thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.